Hello, everybody. I'm doing a relatively quick video today because people have had difficulty actually describing what cancel culture is. And I wanted to give you guys a quick example of how cancel culture works, when it's cancel culture versus just consequences of your actions. And in front of us, we have a line. This is going to represent time. So, first example is cancel culture. So we have now. We have now, and then we have about here. We're gonna say that we're at. Let's see here. It's 2024. So let's go back 10 years. 20. Oh my Lanta. My mouse is fighting me hard. So there we've got 2014. So we've got 2014 here. 2014 is probably about the time that we started having all the changes where we had the big LGBT changes. We started having the big 2016 was whenever we had the pussy hats. So what are we on? Fourth wave feminism or fifth wave feminism? But either way, I'm just going to write fem. So we've got LGBT and feminism really popping off between 2014 up to 2016. So we've got that. Add a plus. Cancel culture is someone back in 2001 made a joke or made a YouTube video or made a. Actually, I don't think YouTube videos existed back then. But somebody made a statement back in 2001 or even up in 2010 whenever there actually was YouTube and Facebook and stuff like that. Either of these things. Someone made a joke. Actually, I should do this on both of these. Woo! So someone makes a joke. They say whatever it is. And at that point, now we have people looking back at this tweet or this Facebook post in 2010 or hearing through an interview that someone said X in 2001 and going, oh my gosh, we need to cancel them because this point in 2001, they made a joke about trans people. Oh my goodness. Hey guys, FYI, before the insanity of people being told that they can be the opposite gender, it was common to joke around about cross-dressing or to joke around about different things. My family members have done, like, my dad for Halloween has done a grandma costume where he put makeup putty on his face and gave himself wrinkles and did all sorts of stuff like that. There's a certain time once the shift happens in terms of what is culturally acceptable. If you go back hunting for whatever it is, at that point, you are now in cancel culture. Congratulations. Meanwhile, if someone crosses a line that is past where it's socially acceptable, so in this case, if a person today makes a comment for whatever LGBT thing is right here in 2022. Now it's consequence of your action because you are now making a statement or a thing knowing you're going against the cultural norm. A bit of a perspective thing, since LGBT has people still kind of fighting about it, would be back in the 80s, 70s, 80s, 90s, whenever people were like rebellious in actual punk rock and actual things like that, it's considered, you know, cultural revolution. You're trying to make statements against war, or you're trying to make statements against X or Y, whatever the thing at the time was. You're making statements against that. People back then, they either grew or they fell, depending on what they said. It was just consequences of your actions, because they knew, oh, I'm past this point. I know that it's socially unacceptable to, draft dodge back in the Vietnam War. So they knew that they were going to have results for their actions. Meanwhile, no one before 2014, 2015 thought that they would ever have to worry about making a joke about a man being a woman. The Life of Brian has a classic, I'm pretty sure it's Life of Brian, has a classic joke where one of the Monty Python guys claims that he's a woman now, and John Cleese has a hilarious exchange with them. It's fantastic. I'll include it in the links below. But the whole point is, it's cancel culture if you're going to where people thought they would never be in trouble for making those jokes. It's consequences if it's past, where people will know that there will be consequences. Then they choose to make those jokes. They choose to make those statements. I'm choosing to say the trans stuff is insane. I'm fine with LGB people, but screw the T. Screw the Q, screw all the extra stuff. I don't bend society to this small percentage of people, and I don't exclude our basic rule for, because people like to say, oh, what about the people that are born with both? I'm sorry, that is like 0.001% of the population. I'm not breaking the rule for 0.001%. That is purely insanity to throw out the entire rules just for the one thing. So that is a super quick, super simple explanation of how cancel culture is versus how the consequences of your actions is. It's if the standard has been set, if it's before it, and people have to come back and now judge people by the modern standards, that is when it is cancel culture. There was a NASCAR driver who got canceled because his dad had said something. He hadn't even ever said anything. That's how cancel culture works. It's guilt by association. It's guilt by modern standards, even though your standards at the time were not acceptable. Or even though your standards at the time were acceptable, now they're not. That is how cancel culture versus not cancel culture works. So if anyone ever asks you, what really is cancel culture? Explain to them this. It is after the signpost has been placed. That's it. Super quick. 8 minutes. Hope you all have a nice one. Thanks. Bye.